to me on the computer. Sam usually does that. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry. I thought someone said something. Oh. Welcome, everybody, to Saturday afternoon back yoga. This is a new class at Inner Bliss that I am doing today. We have got quite a few modifications we can do with this class, and a lot new poses and things to help with your back. So one thing I want to say is that if at any time you feel like a pose is not for you, you don't have to do it. Anytime you feel like the pose is, ow, hurting my back, don't do it. If you know of any modifications, please use it. There's straps. Anytime we do folds, if you don't want to do a forward fold from standing up, you can sit on the ground. Take your legs, your feet out. Take the straps and do the forward fold that way. That way you're not coming from a high place down, and it won't pull on your back as much. Also, if you have blocks, these are really good. There'll be a couple of exercises where we'll release our back with blocks. There's blankets for your knees. Have a chair if you want. This is your practice. No one can see you. I can't even see you, so I'm hoping that all your form is good and there'll be no injuries. And as always, by taking this class, you exempt me from any responsibility of injuries. So the main thing is to make sure that you are ready. You are conscious of your body, knowing what is hurting and what isn't hurting, and stopping. Yoga is never a competition. Never. It is not like other exercises, which are fun, and competitions are fun, but yoga is never a competition. And this one is focused on a healthy back, so it's taking into account a lot of back exercises. So if we're ready to start, go ahead and get into easy seated pose or Sukhasana. We're going to have a theme today, and it's self-love. Okay? So I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth to allow to exhale any toxins. Next, I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose very slowly. I want you to feel yourself grounding into your mat or your blanket, allowing your shoulders to relax, your hands to relax on your knees. And I would like for you to do what's called a body scan. Take a moment to go from one part of your body to the other to see if there's any place that you may need to show a little bit more love. Today it's my left knee and still my right ribs. So think about what you may need to show a little bit more love to, which means that you may not put a lot of pressure in that area. You may modify. Now what I would like for you to do is to set an intention for this class. Our theme today is self-love. So it can just be that you are happy to be here on the mat and you love yourself because you're here on a Saturday when it is bright and sunny outside. It could be that you're trying a different class that you've never tried. Or it could be just that you're happy today and you are ready to open yourself up to love yourself. So what I would like for us to do first is to lie on your back with your legs extended. If you have a blanket, you can use it as your as a pillow. Slowly lie back. And when you're ready, extend your legs. Now, if this is uncomfortable, I want you to notice where the pain is. I want you to notice if it's on the lower back, if it's in your muscles here, if it's in your ribs, which is where my pain is today. Is it in my shoulders? Or does it radiate down your legs? Or do you feel really good today? I want you to notice the arch in your back. And with the next breath, I want you to bring both your legs up in a triangle pose, like we're getting ready to go into bridge. And I want you to take your feet, raise your back up just a little, and then down. Make sure you're very comfortable on that spot. And then I want you to arch your back. Arch your back up. See how that feels. See if there's any pulling muscles there. Straighten your back. Feel what that feels like on your core. Arch your back again. Lower your back. Arch one more time. This kind of shows you where you have any muscle tension in your back, so you don't want to overextend your muscles. Now what I would like for you to do is to take your feet as you usually do in bridge, put pressure in your feet and raise your hips off the ground into bridge pose. I want you to release. Go back up. Release, and do this 5 more times. And when you come to stillness, I want you to take your knees into your chest. And just kind of rotate back and forth, massaging your lower back. If you need straps to hold your knees, or if you need the chair to hold your knees, please feel free to do that. You can easily put your knees in the chair and rotate back and forth. Next, I would like for you to allow your knees to fall to the side, to the left side. Trying to hold your shoulder on the ground evenly, but if they come up a little bit, that's fine. Being aware of your back. Then I would like you to raise your legs to center. If you need to use your arms to raise your legs to center, that's fine. Allow them to come to the side. Again, the other side to the left, or right, I'm sorry. Allow them to flow back to the center. Go back to the right. Hold for 3 seconds and do this 5 times, please. To love yourself is to understand that you don't need to be perfect to be loved. And this is part of the practice today. We don't have to be perfect in our practice. Okay. And when you're ready, come to center. Raise your legs up in the air. If you can, hold the back of them. Lower your legs, then lower your feet to the ground. And lay here just for 3 breaths. And when you're ready, meet me at tabletop. And if you need a blanket, go ahead and put it underneath your knees. If you do not, that is okay. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a very cat-cow. So everyone knows cow is stomach down, head up. You inhale in. This is cat. Cow is down. And really focus on your lower back while you're doing this. If you want to do this in a chair, it's okay as well. Now this is the normal cow and cat. Now what I want you to do is the next time you go into cat, come back into child's pose, go forward And allow yourself to go into an upright cobra. Go back to tabletop. Do a cat, cow, cat, cow. Come down to child's pose. And lean forward into big cobra. Let's go back to tabletop. Cat, cow, cat, cow. Down into child's pose. Forward into big cobra. And one last time. Tabletop, cat, cow, cat, cow, child's pose. Come up into big cobra. Now here I want you to come back on your knees. And I want you to have your arms out. Go in, touch your arms, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Back to tabletop. Let's tuck our toes under and let's go into downward facing dog. Now, if you need to use the chair for downward facing dog, you can do this. When you're in downward facing dog, I want you to walk the dog for a few moments. Then I want you to take your right leg and extend it out. So if you're modifying on the chair, this is what it would look like. If you're a downward facing dog, it would be more like this. Lower your leg, take a breath, do the other leg. Lower the leg, take a breath, other leg extended. Lower the leg, take a breath, other leg extended. Lower the leg, take a breath. Now take the foot and try to touch your buttocks, your glutes. The whole time when you're doing this, you want to engage your glutes because the stronger your glutes are, the stronger your back's going to be. It's going to have a foundation. Let's lower and let's go back. Touching our glutes with the other leg. Lower. Other leg, touching your glutes. Lower. And one last time with this side. Lower. Now, if you are in the regular downward facing dog, you are going to step your right foot forward. Use the strength of your legs and go into forward fold. Now, if you are near the chair, you'll step yourself up from the chair and you'll do a forward fold there. This may be hands here. This may be hands just anywhere. If you are needing to sit, please feel free to sit on the mat and do a forward fold from there. The point is that we want to make sure that we are extending this part of the back. So forward fold, hang, release. Just think about the control that we want in our life all the time with forward folds. If you want to, stretch your neck. And when you're ready, come up, half forward fold, and come into mountain pose. Take a moment there to check where our back and our stomach is. We don't want to be too much either direction. And now we want to engage our Pada Bandhas, which is the 4 points on our bottom of our feet. And we want to rock back and forth to try to see where our feet fit comfortably. Hands out to the side, shoulders back, chin forward. I want you to turn inward for a moment and think about this. With our feet grounded into the earth in mountain pose, we thank ourselves for making the decision to come to yoga today, to show ourselves that we are worthy of self-care. I want you to raise your arms up, out, to the front. 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 One more time. Up, out, to the front. Hands to heart center. I want you to try a different forward fold today. If you are standing, I want you to allow your back or your knees to bend and your stomach to come more to your upper thighs and then fall forward. Now with this, I want you to move your knee forward and your right knee forward, straighten your left knee. So we have our left knee folded, our right knee straight. We're going to switch to the other side. It's almost like we're walking in place. Go back and forth. Continue doing that while you're having yourself hang. Now, if you want to go to the chair and you are doing a forward fold, it is like this. If you are in the floor, you would just rotate your feet those directions. While you're in your forward fold, take your right hand and twist to the right. Come back to center and twist to the left. Come back to the center, twist to the right. And continue to keep going in that till you do it 10 times. As we release into forward fold, let us be humbled by the immense power that we hold within ourselves. To grow by releasing our need to always be in control. So let's bring our arms up from forward fold. Let's do a back bend. Go back into forward fold and go into tabletop. Okay, I'll give everyone a chance to get there, depending upon where you were. Next, what I would like you to do is take your right leg out, move back and forth, having your toes on the ground, just kind of gently massage. Raise that right leg off the ground and bring it up here. Come up, keeping your back straight, your face forward. If you need to lean on your knee, that's fine. If you need to lean forward, that's fine. But I'm kind of wanting you to, as much as possible, be sitting up straight. From this pose, we're going to raise our left arm up, right arm down, left arm up, right arm down, and we're going to rotate it up and down. Find your own pace. That works your shoulder muscles. Let's stop. Go back into tabletop. Take your left leg out and rotate your toes downwards and push back on them. When you're ready, take that left leg up, swing it forward. If you need to move it your own self, do it. If you feel comfortable here, stay. If you don't here, that's fine. And just find the power in this. If you're in a chair, you can use the chair easily as putting one leg over and sitting like this. Okay. Now begin the opposite of your arm, that's of your leg, up, and rotate back and forth. So we have the left leg up, the right knee down. So we start out with right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm. Continue doing that. Let's stop, go back into tabletop, and go into child's pose. As you go into child's pose, if you need to adjust your knees a little bit further to allow your stomach to go in between your legs, you're welcome to. You can either have your head down, your head across on your hands in prayer, or your hands directly behind you, like this. Just trying to get your buttocks down as far as possible to your knees. Balasana is supposed to be one of the more comfortable poses, resting poses. So we're going to sit there in just a moment. We're going to think about our theme for the class. Work on being in love with the person in the mirror who has been through so much, yet is still standing as strong as a warrior. So as we come up out of child's pose, we go to tabletop. We bend down, bend our knees, go into forward fold, walk our hands up if we need to. And we're going into alternate chair, which means that you put your hands here when you come up. Hands are not up above you. That pulls your back. If you have back problems, this is a good one to go to. We come up and we go into warrior one. Again, if you want to use a chair, you may. You may use the chair. Let me turn it around here. To warrior one. You have your right foot forward, your left foot turned 45 degrees. You are facing the long end of your mat. Or your arms are up. As you move your arms up, you'll notice there's a back bend, so if there's any damage to the disc, you don't want to do this. Now bring your arms down and out. We're going to do an alternate warrior one. Remembering to keep your knees bent, we're going to go in and hug ourselves. And then go out like we're running for the hug. Hug ourselves, leaning back, going forward. Hugging ourselves. And I want you to do that 3 more times at your own pace. If you need to hold on to the chair, please do. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Right foot forward, left foot 45 degrees, left leg straight, right leg bent. Arms up just to get us into regular pose. If not, chair is fine. Let's feel how we feel there. Let's go into running for a hug and getting a hug. Running for a hug, leaning back, going into hug. Running for a hug. And flow that for a few more. When you're finished, come to mountain, please. We're going to move our shoulders forward, because that may have put some tension in our shoulders. Then we're going to move our shoulders back, Just rotate them. Okay. Let's go into Warrior Two. Right foot forward, left foot back 45 degrees. Our torso turned towards you, and my arms are out. Now, if you need to keep your hand on the chair, that's fine, especially the more further that you bend your front foot. If you need your hand on your waist, that is fine. Some people like to open up their shoulders by putting their hands behind their waist. That is fine. Looking out over your front hand. Trying to hold your back tight, your stomach in. This is strengthening your glutes, your legs, which in turn will straighten your back. Let's go in. Turn our feet the opposite direction so that the other foot is pointing forward and this front foot has turned into the back foot. And we are leaning. Again, hands could be here, hands may be here, hands may be back, or they may be on the chair. It's whatever you would like to do. Let's come up. Turn inward. Our feet are pointed like this. I want you to hinge back, do a back bend. Bring yourself to center, and then do a forward fold. If you can touch the floor, that's fine. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. While you're here, if you want to move back and forth to massage your back and hips, open them up, that is fine as well. Walk your hands back up and come up, back into mountain. Let's work our arms again. Forward, out, forward, up, out, side, up, side, forward, up, forward, out, out, up, out, front. And I want you to do that just for a few moments at your own pace and your own direction of how you want to do it. I find these fun. I feel like I'm directing traffic. Okay, when you're ready, come back to stillness. We're going to do forward fold again and go straight into tabletop. So if you need to come down on your knees a little different, that is fine. So I want you to stay at tabletop for just a moment. Move your hands forward. Allow yourself to come down, knees, chest, chin, and go into crocodile pose. Having your head look to the right first, and stay there for just a few moments. Begin to think about something personal for you in this pose, about your affirmation while you're lying here. Is there something that you've done so far that you're excited about? Maybe an idea that you've thought about? With your next breath, I want you to move your head to the other direction while you're still in crocodile. Okay. Now, if you want to come, this is up to you. You can stay in crocodile for a few moments, or you can come into Sphinx. Sphinx is where your arms are closer together to your chest, honestly, and it's out like an Egyptian Sphinx. Now, it depends upon how your lower back is. If you're crocodile, you're going to be raising this leg up to here. And you're going to do this 2 sets of 10. If you're in Sphinx, if you notice the different feeling, it's a lot harder. There's a lot more work there. So it's up to you. So choose crocodile or sphinx and take your right leg and raise 10 times. Okay, let's rest. Let's go to the other leg for 10. And let's go to the other leg and do 10 more. And let's go to the other leg for 10 more. Now let's go back to crocodile and rest for a moment. Allowing your back to expand. I would like for you to try breathing into your back rather than into your stomach. Your lungs are actually in your back. So if you take in a deep breath and allow, just envision it going into your back where your scapula is. I call them your chicken wings. And see if you can make them expand while you're lying there. This is called Desicar breathing. It's actually a very deep breathing technique. So you lay and you breathe into the chest, into the back. Breathe in, exhale. Breathe in, exhale. Okay, let's come up to regular cobra. Let's stay there for as long as we can for big cobra. Come back down. Take a deep breath and let's do that again. Go as far as you can, bending your back. Lower. And take one more breath. We'll do one more. And as you come up, go ahead and move into child's pose for a few moments. Take a breath and we'll come up into easy seated pose, which is Sukhasana, where we started. And this is where you can go ahead and grab your blocks and your straps. Forgot what they were called for a moment. Take a moment, take a drink. You all have done really well today. And remember, if any part of your back is feeling tender or sore, just to make sure you only do what you need to do. The back affects the knees. So at times, sometimes we may have to prop knees up like this if you feel comfortable. You may want to put bolsters down, anything like that. So let's come to easy seated pose and just take a body scan of where we are right now. You feel any tenseness or tightness? Focus on those over the next few poses to allow them to really release during these exercises. You know, you can always send your thoughts or energy to certain parts of your body. When it starts getting sore, send that love to that area. Focus on the release, breathe to that area. And it tends to release a lot of pain. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some lateral flexions. So we take our hand, our right hand, left hand here, our right hand up, and we're going to keep our hips straight on the ground, our arms going up. If you like more of a stretch, look up at your hand. Come back, and we go to the other side. Looking up if you wish. The thing is, though, you must love yourself because no amount of love from others is sufficient to fill the void of the lack of self-love. We try so many times in life to fulfill love with food, with any kind of addiction, whether it's television or even adrenaline rushes, to avoid really wanting to see how much we love ourselves. Why there's parts of us we're not happy with. We all have it. I mean, I know I do. We all do. We just have to come to the part to realize that we can't find it from the external, come to easy seated pose. We have to look inwards, and things like this is great for self-love. So what I want you to do is have your arms overhead, turn to your left and say yes. One, yes, yes, yes. Then do no. Ooh. Say yes again. And do no. Look over to the right. Try to keep your arms up to your ears if available. Sometimes your shoulders won't allow it. Say yes. And then say no. Bring your hands down. And let's do our wonderful twist. Now, if you're in the chair again, these are perfect to do in the chair. Most of the stuff that we are doing for the next few poses, you can do sitting in a chair. So if you are, just take your right hand over your left knee, your left arm behind you. Breathe in, exhale, and twist. Allow yourself to go as far as you can. Breathe in again, exhale, and go a little further. Release. And let's go to the other side. Keeping our back straight, our hand behind us kind of for support. As you take in a breath and you exhale, see if you can get that hand to go just a little bit further. Twist a little bit further. I've seen people who can almost twist and look behind them. It always amazes me. I have too much fluffy stuff. Let's breathe and let's do the other side. And let's breathe and do the other side. And now I want you to fold forward if you can. Walk your hands out as far as you can, allowing your back to go back to neutral position. Let's grab our straps, straighten our legs out. The knee needs a little more love. So we bounce, bounce, bounce. And you're going to take your straps, take your legs out. Now, if you're sitting in a chair, you'll put them just the way you always do. And if you're in the chair, you'll raise your legs up as you go forward. Here, you'll go forward. Breathing in and exhaling and going just a little bit further. If you need to adjust the fluffy stuff, you can, and you'll go a little bit further. Release. Let's take a deep breath and let's do it again. Let's release. Let's take our two legs together. Try to raise them up off the ground or off the chair, wherever you're at. May just be an inch. That's usually about all we can do. And release. Go back again and notice that it's your back that's balancing. It's your back strength. If you hold your core in and your back straight. And release. And let's do this one more time. Okay. Let's go into cobbler's pose. If you are in a chair, you can do this as well. You can use blocks underneath you. And then just pull yourself forward. Okay, let's walk ourselves up and let's go back into a bridge. Now, if you are in a chair, you're welcome to do this. This is a little bit of the strap work that we do in chair yoga. If you are wanting to do the on the ground, we're going to go into bridge. Allow yourself to go back. Okay, let's take our strap. We have our knees bent, feet on the ground, and let's take one foot in. I want you to push as hard as you can towards the ceiling with your strap. You're pulling your back there. You're pushing forward like you're trying to reach the ceiling. Exhale and release. Push, 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 push. If you're in the chair, you're pushing forward. And let's just do some circles to massage the back. Some little circles. And let's go the other way. Allow this leg to fall open, just to open your hip a little. Come to center. And go across into figure 4. Pushing gently. Gently, gently, gently. Release. Release your foot. And put the other foot in the strap. Bringing this foot up. And pushing to the ceiling as hard as you can. Back up your region. Let's do some small circles. And let's go the opposite way. Let's bring our leg out. Let's bring our leg to center. Put both feet in. Roll back and forth. Let's bring our knees in. And bring our knees out. In and out. Let's release. And let's take the block and put underneath the back of our knees. You may need to adjust yourself a little bit, but allowing your block to hold your knees up for just a few moments. Having a foot cramp, I'm so sorry. Okay. Feel the release in your back as you are there. Feel the release in your calves. And breathe deep into the back. Now bring your feet back up to the mat. Take that block. Go into bridge. Raise yourself and put the block behind your back to go into supported bridge. Stay there for a few moments. Notice if there is any tension or anything anywhere. You may need to move any pinching. You may need to adjust your shoulders. Bring our knees into our chest and legs straight out. If you need to adjust the block at any point, please do. This is the supported legs up the wall. If you can't hold your legs up that long, you can go into happy baby. You can just pull your knees in and go back to legs up the wall. And when you're ready, lower your legs, go back into bridge pose. Raise your hips and remove the block. Find your blanket and lie in Shavasana. Allowing your feet to fall out to the sides. Your legs and your hips to mount into your mat. Your shoulders and your chest to relax and open. And your arms fall gently to the side. Moving your head gently back and forth to find the perfect spot. Your greatest responsibility is to love yourself and know that you are enough. As we prepare to close our class today, know that this feeling of self-love does not have to stop after the Shavasana. This feeling is yours for the rest of your life, and you are worthy of every drop of happiness that it bestows upon you. Continue breathing and spend the Shavasana time and thinking about what happiness and self-love looks like to you. Know that this feeling and these thoughts can go with you off the mat. This is why it says yoga is on and off the mat. The lifestyle goes with you, and self-love is a lot of that lifestyle. With your next breath, begin to come back to your mat, gently wiggling your fingers or your toes. Allowing yourself to roll over to one side and just go back to this fetal position that we were in when we were younger. Lay there for a moment, hugging yourselves. As many times the pain and pressure in our back is due to emotions hiding from who we are, hiding from others as we hunch forward. Being proud of who we are and loving ourselves will allow us to ease the pain in our body as well. When you are ready, gently push yourself up and come to Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And join me as I say thank you again, as always, for allowing me to share my practice with you and for you to share your precious time with me. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Namaste.